10 of the most beautiful places in Turkey. At the point where Europe and Asia collide, it is Turkey's transcontinental culture clash, its east-west spice mix of influences, flavors, cultures, religions and histories that makes this country so intoxicating. This is a land of sensorial richness, in its bazaars and mosques, its food and arts, of exoticism and romance, from its Ottoman palaces to fairy tale Cappadocia. Its beauty spots are equally diverse. Inland there are otherworldly landscapes and ancient wonders to be explored, once the playgrounds of Cleopatra and Mark Antony, Caesar and Alexander the Great, and yet they are little visited compared with similar sites in Italy and Greece. In summer, Turkey's exceptionally beautiful Turquoise Coast is plied by gulets sailing on their Blue Voyages from the Aegean to the eastern reaches of the Mediterranean, dropping anchor to swim in bays of crystal clear water, and taking long lunches in fishing villages, at blue-painted tables and chairs framed with canopies of pink bougainvillaea, where life has gone on unchanged for thousands of years. To help you find these spots, we've rounded up the most beautiful places to visit in Turkey. 10. Balat, Istanbul. Istanbul's artsy neighborhood of Balat, the old Jewish quarter, has color-popping pockets amid its more down-at-heel residential streets, bright painted stairs like those up to Insiragachi Kahvesi Cafe, street art, parasol-shaded streets and terraced wooden houses in sugary pastels and rainbow shades Tri Karemet Caddesi. Wind around the steep cobbled lanes to dig out surprises in the rootsy cafes and vintage shops, live music venues and edgy art galleries. 9. Butterfly Valley, Fethai. One of the greatest rewards for walkers on the Lycian Way is the spectacular view as you pass above Butterfly Valley, a jag of cove sheared out of the land, colossal cliffs rising sheer and scrubby either side of the narrow blue bay, fading to turquoise at the shore. On the toenail of sand and pebble beach at the foot of it, accessible only by boat, there's a campsite with a beach bar serving beers and grilled fish, and yoga classes are held beneath the trees. Heading inland, the valley, used for all eternity as a goods route, leads through lush greenery and waterfalls, and in springtime, is filled with 100 species of butterfly. 8. Ephesus. Turkey has a great number of ancient sites, most far less visited than similar sites in Italy and Greece, and Ephesus, now UNESCO protected, is arguably the grandest of them all. The Temple of Artemis, which stood in the ancient city of Ephesus, was one of the original 7 wonders of the world. Little remains of it now, but the remains of Ephesus are wondrous nonetheless. Set back from the Aegean coast, the settlement began 9,000 years ago. There Roman, Christian, Ottoman, Hellenistic and Greek monuments, colonnaded streets, temples, a huge amphitheater, the Celsus Library whose carved facade still stands today, archways framing the blue Mediterranean sky. 7. Kos. Far enough from the big seaside hubs to keep it offbeat, the old fishing village of Kos remains a hideaway for hippie travelers and boho chic Turks. Crazy paved streets are lined by traditional whitewashed houses, wooden balconies overhung with billowing bougainvillaea, against a backdrop of mountains. It sits beside the most delicious turquoise sea, rustic swimming terraces and daybeds built over the water, piled with bright cushions and textiles. The village's Kaputa's beach is a knockout, all dazzling white and bright blue, surrounded by dramatic cliffs, and nearby, off the island of Kekova, there's an underwater city to explore with snorkels, visible beneath the crystal clear water. 6. Patara. Stretching more than 7 miles, Patara Beach is the longest and most wildly beautiful in Turkey, and also one of the emptiest. Breakers crash along one edge of this deep, wide stretch of pale sand. Along the other are dunes and pine trees, marshes and lagoons, now a natural park rich in birdlife, so you are completely surrounded by water and wildlife, most notably, endangered loggerhead turtles. It's thanks partly to the turtles that the beach remains unspoiled and protected, and also to the ruins of the ancient city of Patara, built, it is said, by Apollo's son, at the back of the beach. You access the shore via these ruins, which include an amphitheater, parliament building found buried in the sand in the 1990s, and the column-flanked remains of the main street. Apollo's temple is believed to still lie somewhere beneath, as yet undiscovered. 5. The domes of Istanbul. Across the Golden Horn, the more modest Ortaköy Mosque is one of the city's prettiest, white in marble and stone, with pink mosaics within. Located at the water's edge beside the Bosphorus Bridge, it is breathtaking at sunset with the golden light, and in the morning, when the call rings out across the water. Some of Istanbul's most beautiful places are its mosques. The city's architectural masterpiece, the Hagia Sophia, began life 1,500 years ago as a Byzantine cathedral, was converted to a mosque by the Ottomans, then in the 1930s became a museum, until, the summer of 2020, contentiously, it became a mosque once again. But all visitors are still welcome, to pray or just contemplate in awe beneath its soaring golden dome, shafts of sunlight piercing its stained glass windows like the fingers of God. Beside it sits the Blue Mosque, built in the Ottoman era, its interior lined with handmade Iznik ceramic tiles and overhead, painted various shades of blue, and so beautiful that even Pope Benedict couldn't stay away, when he visited in 2006, thanked divine providence for it. Built by Suleiman the Magnificent in the 16th century, Süleymaniye Mosque is just that. High on Istanbul's third hill amid gardens and marble colonnaded grandeur, it has magnificent views of the city, too. 4. Gümüşlük, Bodrum. Until the 20th century, the fishing villages dotted around the Bodrum Peninsula were only accessible from the water, and still today the best way to get around is by boat. Of all these fishing villages, the most charming is Gümüşlük. Ramshackle restaurants, simple driftwood-style shacks, line the water's edge, some literally set in the shallows, where you can eat mise and just grilled fish with your feet in the water. The smartest spot is Mimosa. Gourd lanterns, hand-painted in jewel shades, hang from the trees and canopies, creating sculptural shapes in the sunshine and enchanting at night when all lit up. It's also the best spot in Bodrum to catch sunset. 3. Blue Lagoon, Ölüdeniz. This bay of turquoise water, with its finger of white sand curving around it, is so supernaturally vibrant that it has become a poster child for the Turquoise Coast. The sands of Belçeki's beach slip into the limpid shallows, creating Maldivian-esque swirling seascapes of blue and white, protected by the green forested promontories which lie around it like sleeping dragons. Overhead, the skies are full of paragliders viewing the whole splendid shebang from the air. 2. The pools of Pamukkale. The mineral springs that have cascaded down the hillside for thousands of years have created this extraordinary sight. Pamukkale means cotton castle in Turkey's Büyük Menderes Valley. The series of natural pools of pale eau de Nil water, cupped in shallow, organic-shaped basins of gleaming white travertine, are terraced into the hillside, overspilling with the mineral-rich spring water that formed them and which appears to have frozen in time in petrified waterfalls, stalactites of limestone like wedding cake icing dripping down the hillside. The spectacle gets busy with tourists, but often overlooked are the ancient ruins of the Greco-Roman spa town Hierapolis, built at the very top of the site, around the healing springs. Here you can bathe in Cleopatra's very own hot bath, said to have been a gift from Mark Antony, once covered by the Roman Temple of Apollo. The Doric columns now lie in the water, and the pool is flanked with flowers. 1. The fairy chimneys of Cappadocia. High on the Anatolian plateau, the curious landscapes of Cappadocia resemble a fantasy world. Honey-colored rocks have eroded into sculptural forms resembling minarets, magic mushrooms and what have become known as fairy chimneys, while underground, settlers since the Bronze Age have been busy carving out cave houses, churches and monasteries from the soft volcanic rock, even entire subterranean cities. The thing to do is take a hot air balloon ride at sunrise or sunset, alternatively, see it on horseback or two wheels, or watch the spectacle from the terrace of your cave hotel in the town of Göreme. Try Sultan Cave Suites for its rooftop, museum hotel or Kayaköprü, which all have outdoor pools, rustic charming Cappadocia Cave Suites, or film set like Unique Evleri, as hundreds of balloons drift overhead and the low sun casts apricot light on this extraordinary land. One of the most romantic spots on earth.